I'm also glad that we got to hear, I guess somewhat glad to hear back from Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Changes. And the last time we heard from Bieber, 5 years ago, 2015, we're talking to albums that are follow-ups to albums that came out in 2015 today, which is very interesting how that worked out. But Purpose, 2015, banger after banger from that one, right? The singles are monstrous and just
Yeah.
dominated radio. Everybody heard them. Sorry, Love Yourself, What Do You Mean? Even the song like Where Are You Now had pretty big commercial success.
Where Are You Now was on the Jack U album. Wasn't on Purpose, but it was also that year.
It's on that deluxe set.
Oh, is it? Oh, it is. Yeah. You're right. It is here. Yeah, that was. Oh shit! I forgot it was on this. Wow, that's funny. Yeah, but yeah, that counts then. Sure. And Company as well was another big radio hit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bangers.
And so, no Biebs for a while. He's in the tabloids. Got married to Haley Baldwin.
That's right. Haley Biebs now.
And boy, this album could not have been more disappointing for me, Dave. Listened to it on the car ride home, and I could not wait for that last song, which was a remix of Yummy, which is a song that I do not like very much.
Oh my God.
Probably one of the best songs on the album, though. And I just was kind of left puzzled at how Bieber got here. He goes from being, he's done some features. He's still one of the biggest pop stars in the world, but this album just felt like a total miss. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it, but I have a sense that you were kind of feeling the same way about it.
Yeah, this is a major letdown. Like there's no question. I mean, you mentioned it with Purpose. Even if Purpose might be a little uneven, Purpose has these amazing highs, which were all smartly used as the singles. Song like Sorry, one of the best pure pop songs of the decade. Really can't deny that.
Mm-hmm.
Love Yourself.
Music video too.
Yeah, of course. Love Yourself, famously written by Ed Sheeran, a really meaningful song to a lot of people, a song that had a huge, impact when he performed it for that Manchester benefit concert following the bombing at the Ariana Grande concert over in England. Mm-hmm. And I was a little skeptical coming in because, as you mentioned, the lead single to this is Yummy, a song that is flatly, plainly bad, a ridiculously poor hook. And then they were so desperate to get it to go number one, and all these malicious tactics to get your fans to stream the shit out of the song. And it doesn't, because Roddy Rich's The Box was still crushing it. And there's a few other singles coming up, right? You had the one with Kehlani, the one with Quavo. And it's like, man, these are not hitting the same. We'll see what happens. And yeah, it's just a lot blander than I expected. And, looking at the liner notes, Pooh Bear is all over this thing, basically on, I think, maybe 85% of it. And he had worked with Justin in the past, for Where Are You Now and What Do You Mean and the Despacito remix. So it's like he had worked with somebody he worked with before and had major success with before, yet he just missed. And it ultimately is, I understand that Justin in these 4.5 years has gone through a lot of up and downs. It's really great to see him back in that sense, that he seems to be in a really good spot, just personally, right? He seems to be really happy with Haley and has found God, I guess, and just feels he seems to be happier and have a good attitude about things. That's great, given how famous he got when he was like 14 or whatever. So it's good to see him back in that sense. But the somberness of his reflection just comes across in the music. It's just not a fun time. And I think some of the production is pretty good throughout this, but Justin's vocals aren't anything special usually, and it's pretty repetitive from a songwriting perspective. So yeah, I found this incredibly disappointing.
And I think the thing that maybe I find most disappointing about this is, like you said, Bieber albums are not necessarily known for being like solid, cohesive albums, but you get a couple songs here and there that you just like, okay, this song fucking rules, and this is why Justin Bieber became maybe the biggest star in the world a couple of years ago. Right. But track after track, it was like uninspired feature, uninspired lyrics, things that just did not hit in any way. You mentioned the Kehlani one. I actually think that's one of the songs I like the most, mostly because Kalani is such a breath of fresh air on this thing.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
when she comes in, I'm like, whew, like I actually like woke up for a bit. But Travis, totally uninspired. Lil Dicky had a very interesting lyric that I just was like, I don't know if I can get with this.
That's his brand now. Every one of his songs, you're always raising an eyebrow. It's like, should you be saying that? No, that's what he does.
I thought Quavo actually gave a decent showing on his feature, but like still just uninspired. And Post Malone actually stood out to me. Him and Kalani were probably my two favorite features on this, which I didn't really expect to be coming away being like, man, Post Malone.
If that's bad. What you're saying, it's a problem.
Yeah. And that's the point, right? Is that none of these songs made me want to go back and listen. I don't know. Yummy's the one that stands out most because I've heard it the most, but it really just not a good song. It's hard because I don't want to say Bieber maybe just doesn't have the inspiration right now, because I think he's been able to write love songs in the past, especially when he was younger, kind of coming up and making his roots with Ursher and things like that. But this really feels like he tried to make an album about what it means to be like, I don't know, moving into adulthood, finally growing up, and it just like fell totally flat.
Right.
Bring back the Selena Gomez beat.
Beat me to it. Yeah. Selena was much more successful in that regard last month in terms of reflecting on a tumultuous few years after some time away. Yeah, what's most frustrating about the song Lil Dicky Running Over? It's that apparently that used to be a Ski Mask the Slump God feature. And I can just picture now with that beat, him doing like his Nuketown flow. That would have sounded fucking sick. And talk about something inspired, And he went for Lil Dicky instead, which is a much safer choice. But whatever. I guess if there's songs that I like the most, I guess, or dislike the least, I don't know. Available, Take It Out on Me. I thought, decent mix of production and JB. And then I think Confirmation towards the end. I actually like that beat a lot. But yeah, overall, this was one of my most anticipated albums for a few years now. Just, I'd put it on my dock, upcoming albums, Justin Bieber, whenever. You just knew nebulously this was going to come. And it was at the top of the list just because, you didn't know what to expect from it. And I guess kind of like the way Rihanna's 9th album is thought about right now. And yeah, this just, I think, completely fails to meet any expectations anyone had. So I'll be curious to see what manages to become a radio hit, because Yummy, go look on Spotify. It's been streamed a few 100 million times already for some fucking reason. So I'm sure something else would be successful, but I'm not really sure what it'll be.
He's a beast, man. He does the numbers even when the songs aren't there.